All right. Welcome to the Smoke and Mirrors podcast, your destination for the latest in movie news and reviews. We are your hosts, Rob, Dave, and Triz. Unfortunately, Dave isn't here right now, but he's here in spirit.
MIA.
Just Paper Plane starts playing. All I want to do is.
I was like, why is this song so fucking hard with the gunshots in there and everything? Excuse me.
What a banger. But so today we're going to give you our usual review episode on the Sunday. So we've got Bleach for you from the anime corner. We also have continuation of Reservation Dogs as well as Lioness. And we also put in our own verdict on the Depp versus Heard trial that just aired on Netflix on Thursday. Were they right? Were they wrong? Were they shitting on beds? We'll find out now. So let's start the show. How you living there, Big Dog?
That was good, man. That was really, really good. I had a pretty chilled out weekend. Nothing special, but it was about that home life, you know what I mean? How about you?
Yeah,
How
it
you
was
going?
good. Yeah, good. Had a birthday party on Friday. Went to a pub yesterday just for a few beers there. But I noticed when I don't know anyone and the social anxiety kicks in, I drink faster.
Yeah.
Legit, I had like two beers in 15 minutes in that first walkthrough, and then I had two more beers, and then I just went to old fashions. I just walked out
Jeez.
of there at like 4:35, just stumbling.
Jesus, dog. Obviously not the designated.
B4 called me. She was like, "I'm on my way home now. Do you want me to pick you up?" And I was like, I'm walking."
I'm stumbling home tonight, baby.
It was fucking weird though to get home at 5 p.m. after having like seven or eight drinks.
Jeez.
It's like a responsible alcoholic.
Gee, I reckon. Let's go straight to sleep. Just big drunk snores in the room.
Weirdly enough, I was stayed up, like, because I thought I was just gonna go home and pass out.
Yeah.
I was full sat down on the couch, was chilling out with B, watching Fuckboy Island.
Jesus.
It's another one of those like Love Is Blind, Too Hot to Handle numbers. Fucking really caught me.
Jeez. You know what's real fucked? Is on Netflix, they got this show called Down for Love. Have you
Yeah.
seen this?
No?
It's people with Down syndrome in a dating competition style setup.
That's fucking next level.
It's the exploitation of these O's is wild.
Yeah. We need something to tick a box. Let's do this. I mean, good on them though, if they're like sweet people and like, they meet all these people and maybe they find love, but still, Jesus.
That's next level, man.
It,
The next thing you know, they're gonna do like Down for Survivor or something like that, and it's gonna be the wildest shit ever.
yeah. Fucking hell. There's this show on, I don't know if it's Channel 10 or free to air or some shit, but these people have to survive with nothing in the wilderness. They have to fend for themselves for like 48 or 72 hours or some shit. So they have
Is
to
that
build their
alone?
own. I think so.
Yeah.
And like they had some of it on Gogglebox. I have to admit, I was on the Gogglebox train now, but fucking this guy was like, I've just spent 36 hours, I built my shelter, but I just can't hack it because I got my wife and my kids at home. I gave this up for them. And even though I know, like, I could win this, I'm leaving.
Jeez. Fuck this. I'm a homebody.
It's like fucking respect.
I like it. I would just like I could win all of this. That's such a fucking wild thing to say. I could take this right home. You know what I'm saying? But fuck this. Fuck all that effort.
I know you're out there. It's been a day and a half, mate. Just commit.
Oh shit. All right there, Bado. Let us know about that anime life.
Yeah. So Bleach. So where are we now? This episode actually starts off with Ichigo instead of ending with Ichigo. Ichigo has officially completed his training. And now, like, in the location that he's in. So there's the Soul Society, but he's up in like the sky with all these like really high level Soul Reapers that sort of created the Soul Society.
Mm.
And these guys are like, all right, cool, you're finished. You got to make it back down to the Soul Society. We can't help you like we did before, because they came down in like these pods basically, and they were like, we can't use them just because we have like a rule where we can't have as much interaction with other Soul Reapers. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. They were like, all right, cool, you got to take the stairs. If you go fast, you should make it down to the Soul Society in a week. And it's legit like a set of like God of War style spiral stairs. And Ichigo's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna jump, and I'll probably make it there in half a day. And you see him legit just like fucking, he's falling through the middle of these spirals, this spiral staircase. It looks cool though, but you see
Mm.
him just fucking just flying. And he calls up everyone that's on the ground right now, and he's just like, hey, I'm gonna be there soon. Just keep fighting. I know it's like hard enough, but just keep going if you can. And then they're like, all right, cool, no worries. You know, I'll send out the message to everyone to let them know you're on the way. Because apparently Ichigo is just fucking powered the fuck up, and he's ready to fuck people up. He's down to clown. But fucking, it flicks back to the Soul Society, and Rukia is there after her training from these guys, and she meets up with one of these Stern Ritters, and his like control is over fear. And
Mm.
then this massive fight breaks out, and you find out with her when she learnt more about her Zanpakuto that it almost kills you when you use it, because it hers is ice based, and it just drops your fucking body temperature down to the point past death. And
Jesus.
she's still like struggling to like get control of it right now, because it's still all very new to her. And so she's like, if I do like get to that point, I have to slowly bring my temperature all the way back up until it's back up to normal. And like she has this massive fight with this guy, and then um, because it's almost like a poison, the fear that he uses, he's like,
Yeah.
regardless of what you do, it's going to seep in. And he waited for her to drop her temperature and then bring it back up for everything to sort of hit her.
Mm.
And then she's stuck in like this spiral of just anxiety and fear and depression of like, what the fuck is going to go. And then because her brother at the start of the season, Byakuya, he got fucked up. Like legit, this guy like scraped his insides out of his stomach.
Jesus.
And he fucking saves the day. He's all healed now, and fucking
Who comes back from that? Just had my inside scraped out. You know how it is.
it's a week.
Word. Word, dog.
Just the awkward fist bump after. I know exactly how that feels. Someone get this man out of here. So with like the invasion of the Stern Ritters, or the Quincy's, I should say, on the Soul Society, they took some of their powers, but then they managed to get them back. But part of that was that a lot of these like high level Soul Reapers, they relied solely on their highest level of power. But now, ever since that's occurred, they're like, fuck, we need to bring it back to basics. And they have that Rocky 4 montage moment where they
Mm.
just relearn how to use like their powers prior to that highest level. And that's what Rukia's brother did. And he fucking smashes this guy. It was fucking cool. And then with Rukia seeing Byakuya, because that's who she was like freaking out about too, because she thought he was dead and now he's back.
Mm.
And for the first time ever, because he was like the hard ass of the family, and he was very hard on her, and he had like some very encouraging words, and she felt that.
Mm.
And then that's where the episode actually cuts off. So I'm hoping next episode Ichigo shows up, and then it's fucking on point from there.
So when they introduce like Bukyakia, like like I'm back from my guts being scraped out. Hey yo, that's the biggest pause ever. Just had the guts smashed out of me. Do they have like the mad silhouette, like like smoking a fucking cigarette or something like that?
Well, when they introduce him, you think it's Ichigo, because Ichigo's almost wearing the same outfit, and then it's just Byakuya, and he's
Okay.
just there, yeah. Because you see his fucking, they call it a Shikai, which is a level below a Bankai, and with his sword, it transforms into cherry blossoms, and then it fucking flies out. And it's almost like the style of 1,000 Cuts and shit.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, and that's how he shows off. He has the most like fucking um the most badass entrance with it as well.
I wish they leaned into that. The O brought like a fucking squirt gun of vinegar or some shit like that.
That'd be fun. Just like Modern Family, just fucking.
Just a Kimbo fucking like. You know those ones where you put it on the sniper shots?
Yeah. We got a bottle of fucking spray and wipe that's permanently on sniper because the mist doesn't work.
Those fucking bottles, when that thing breaks, fucking hell, it's the worst.
Fucking earth. But so that was the end of this episode, and I was like, all right, cool. Oh, sorry. So remember I was saying there was some tea about the fucking Quincy King when they're like,
Yeah.
oh, the Quincy King so and so. You find out that he actually kills all the Quincy's that fail him, and that's what gives him strength. But it's
Oh
very
shit.
much in like a court of justice because they're weighed on the scales of justice. And if it leans too far into, I guess, crime, that's when they die. And then that power gets lent back to the Quincy King. And that's how he regains all of his strength moving forward. Because he gave all of his power out to all these people. And then for him to power up, he just gets it all back from the people that fail him.
Yeah, that sort of reminds me of Moon Knight. You know how Ethan Hawke's character was judging people with that staff?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that powers up that villain.
I want to say Mistopheles, but that's not it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it for Bleach. Now, Jujutsu Kaisen should be next week, which is good. They had their 2 week break, but they're also saying it might only come back the 31st of August.
Damn. Okay.
I'm fucking dying over here, man.
Shit slow for you. Fuck. All right. Thanks there, Bado. Getting into Reservation Dogs quickly, it was like the sort of recalibration now that Bear's back in Okern after getting lost on the way back home. So they basically just put an episode together to add some foreshadowing to what's to come, because there's a guy in there and he gives out like herbal medicine and whatnot. And he said there's a storm coming, so it's more the foreshadowing that something's gonna happen, but it wasn't in this episode. This episode was more about um, just kind of showcasing everyone in the friend group. I think also setting up that Bear and Jackie might be a thing in future episodes, but also that Laura Dannon is searching for a dad, and Willie Jack is interested in something that is more sort of native inclined and indigenous inclined. And Cheese is kind of like picking up the pieces of what was basically like set up in past seasons with him going to go get his eyes tested, and then he actually gets glasses. So then, yeah, it's gonna go on from there. I got a feeling like one of them is gonna die.
Oh
Hopefully
shit.
not. Yeah. Hopefully not. But yeah, nothing much happened in this episode. So I think the next, I want to say 6 episodes or 4 episodes, should be pretty interesting because it is the last season.
Shit. Hopefully. It sounds like
Yeah.
it was really ramping up there. And then now, I guess this is where they've inserted that sort of we just need a bit of lore building, and then we'll just
Yeah.
move forward from there with more
Yeah.
excitement.
Just remind the audience that there was like key relationships here. Yeah. Lioness it started off really, really solid. So it's still kind of it's working its way through the system, dealing with the fallout of that house blowing up for them to cover the tracks of the sort of the kill mission that happened on American soil
Mhm.
that this team sort of executed, no pun intended. Um, and then yeah, they go in front of the Secretary of State. Morgan Freeman enters the fucking show, and I was thought he was gonna be like the sort of highbrow Morgan Freeman. Nah, he's like the dirtiest mouth on this earth, and he's so casual about it. You meant to tell me this fucking thing. So, it's just like, Okay, Mr. Freeman. Still got a bit of dog in you in there in your fucking midnight years.
Motherfucker Freeman's on the set.
Yeah. Morgan motherfucker Freeman. The MF is silent.
That fucking accent, that voice kills me.
Badly.
Shoot
It's
this
only
fucking guy.
But yeah, it turns out that there is another mole that's working in the same capacity that Cruz is in the undercover segment of the operation, but also that the Lioness position, which is this sort of undercover role that Cruz is playing, is a sacrificial role. So once they find out that she has contact with the target, they bomb the whole fucking site. And that lioness just dies.
Jesus.
I know. I was just like, fuck, did she know that before she went in? Like, just thank you for your service and we're just going to fucking drop a payload on that shit. So that's sort of like they're foreshadowing, they're prefacing like, this end mission to come. Because there's a wedding that's going to happen on December 7th, and then they gotta like they're saying that's going to be the execution date. And then um what's also going to happen is it's also going to be taken over by the government. So it won't be just like an offshoot CIA kill team that's operating squarely on their own sort of volition and making decisions. It's going to be like a full-on controlled operation that will make the calls and whatnot, which puts Zoe Saldana's character Joe in a position where um, like she's going to have to sort of, I think, break some rules and maybe even go into the fucking scene to rescue Cruz. So like that's all building up, right? Cruz right now, she's with the target, like the person that she's trying to get close to get the location of this target. And they have like a full on spa day, pampering or whatnot. It's just her and this next of kin informant.
Mhm.
Then like they full on introduce like a massive lesbian relationship
Oh wow.
out of nowhere. And I'm like fine with it, right? But this kind of felt like you're a lesbian now. Because Cruz starts off fully straight and then just goes full on lesbian by the end of like by episode 6. I was like,
Jesus.
okay. Yeah, it felt like they were building up this relationship that on a sort of platonic level, it was working, and that's where Cruz is kind of finding the like she was having some issues because she's going to be using this person, she's getting close to her, and then all of a sudden it just tips over into like this romantic story.
Mhm.
Like, give me a fucking break, man. This is just like this is too like they're adding too many layers, and the show was actually like pretty safe from trying to jam pack everything into it,
Yeah.
because not only is Cruz like military, right? Now she's got to be a lesbian as well. It was the wildest shit ever. Not going to stop me from
Jesus.
not going to stop me from watching the show, but um, yeah, it was interesting that they did that.
Yeah. That's definitely a
Like,
lot.
I'm not against having a LGBTQIA plus storyline in there, but this felt like shoehorned in. I
Mm.
was just like, this came out of complete left field.
I'm not gonna lie, when I heard Taylor Sheridan was behind this, like nothing wrong with Taylor Sheridan, but it feels like he can convolute a very simple story and just like there can be some unnecessary additions. I don't know if it's just him specifically, but I feel like his run
Mm.
with films and TV shows can be a little hit or miss when it comes to like the how straight the path is for the actual, I guess, development of a character.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't mind curveballs and shit like that, but this just wasn't even that. This was like you got the curveball, but also when you turned around, like the catcher was also pitching at you as well. Just felt weird.
Went from baseball to fucking piggy in the middle.
Badly to dodgeball.
I was gonna ask
and
as well. Sorry, Big
mm,
Doug.
no, you're right.
So when you said about Lioness and how essentially they're expendable, right?
Mm.
Did you have that thought of maybe this is their way of using high level actors in the role and then swap them something akin to Altered Carbon for every season?
Um, Zoe Saldana isn't the lioness.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's not the undercover agent. She's actually the basically the handler in
Okay.
control of the operation,
Right.
which is a really mad role for her because she like really gets to sort of make the decisions. Like she's the decision maker on it. So now she's under this duress because she's fucking getting like presidential control exerted onto her team. So
Hmm.
she's fucked.
Yeah. 100%. That's my bad. I fucking read it wrong when you were explaining it. That's on me. Fucking the brain went
Ah,
elsewhere.
you're good, man. I would have assumed as well that the meat of the story would have been Zoe Saldana,
Hmm.
but the undercover shit was really just sort of working for me. And then they did this shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting for something to sort of throw a spanner in the works.
Yeah, but we'll see where it goes out. They might just sort of I don't know what they're gonna do really, but for it to turn into a love story as well, just yeah, didn't feel right.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's it's my neck of the woods. Let's get into the bed shitting, beer bottle breaking,
Fucking.
secret recording,
I know. I was about to say, fucking the slamming of cupboard doors. Fucking. Hell.
the hat wearing,
The
the bee
brim's so big.
stinging.
Now we all know the story. That like I'm gonna put it out there, and it's a very big claim that the Depp versus Heard case was our generation's OJ. Because it was heard across the world, this trial, man. Everyone was tuned in for all that time. So I think with what Netflix presented to us, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Because I didn't catch up on a lot of the trial shit. I just kept very like high level reminders when it came to it. But I think with what was presented, it was actually done really well. And it was very neutral, which is what I was surprised about too. They
Yep.
actually let yourself decide, but as well as that, the addition of social media into this was really good too,
Mm,
with that as well.
yeah. No, I 100% agree. I really enjoyed this as well. It was a good, brief, quick watch, like 45 minutes, 50 minutes an episode. I thought that they went more the sort of the high value stuff. They didn't go into the nitty gritty of everything. There was a couple of things that they omitted for some weird reason. So they didn't put in the my dog stepped on a bee bit. And they also didn't go into the fact that Amber Heard did have a an affair with uh
Io, or was it someone
I
else?
no, it was James that Johnny Depp was jealous of. Well, they
Ah,
said
yeah,
that James
uh,
Franco.
yeah.
Yeah, James Franco and Elon. So I'm not too sure if that was more political bullshit that they were sort of maneuvering through. Um, yeah, for the most part, I really enjoyed it. Like you said, really, really neutral. Um, but I feel like this was such a moment. in 2022. I actually felt like transported back into 2022 for
Yeah.
a second there. I didn't stay up to date with this trial, but Jules did. Jules loved the shit out of this trial just for the comedic value. Um, but what I found through watching this documentary, we should never have, like, we should never have been privy to this shit. And it's funny how it was sort of recorded and put out to the public, and Johnny Depp was sort of like he was the guy that was pushing that.
Yeah.
Like they do talk about it in the doco where they kind of say this was a this was more for the public to kind of see him and to clear his name.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't what was happening in that court. That didn't matter at all. But it was what was happening in the court of public opinion. That's the real shit.
100%. And their what's the word I'm looking for here? But their introduction of the public within this doco as well, and showing them waiting outside, seeing Amber Heard go in, seeing Johnny go in, and as
Yeah.
well as the how they actually pointed out that everyone was rooting for Johnny and there was basically fucking no one there for Amber Heard as well. It was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
The fact that this judge actually let the recording happen was next level. But I
Yeah.
also feel like that's something that may have been omitted from the record too, is that I reckon with like Depp's public view like being tarnished with all the allegations prior, maybe
Mm.
this was part of his manager saying, hey, you need to get out there and we need to shed like a positive light on you.
Yeah.
And he got very lucky as well, because at the end of this doco they explain how there was some shit that went down that would have
Yeah.
been very beneficial for Heard's argument.
Badly. Big time. And I was very pro Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
But the main thing was her shitting in his bed. It wasn't anything else, but it was her shitting in his bed.
Yeah.
And that a lot of what she was saying was being construed as lies.
Mm.
Now, watching this, like, I've completely shifted. Both of them are fucking sickos.
Yeah.
And it was the online commentary of people eating off of this case that was fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Like there was people legit going in and like, I'm gonna rev up my views and my subscriber base like 10,000%.
Yeah.
People got hundreds of thousands of subscribers just off this. In the doco, the guy that was like, I stand with Johnny Depp and justice for Johnny and all that shit. He's like meeting Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp looks like he doesn't even want to talk to the cunt.
Yeah.
Thank you for shining a light on my case. I was like, yes, yes, we shine lights.
Yeah. It felt very awkward and forced, to be honest.
Yeah, like he was obligated to do that as an extension of his PR. But really, that like if it was any other case, it would have been the lawyers battling it out day to day.
Hmm.
Amber Heard would not have turned up. Johnny Depp would not have turned up. He wasn't even there for the deliberation.
Yeah.
Like, how would you feel as the jury, right? You've basically ruled in his favor, and the other's not even there. And then when the footage comes out, he's like walking through some bar and shit like that. Love you, Johnny. Love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Playing guitar on London stages and shit.
Yeah. It's like, let me just get back to what I do best. Shred this shit up.
It's fucking spitting fire and shit.
Badly.
I
Oh man.
I've never been privy to Johnny Depp's personal life as much as I was with this. I don't think we're privy to anyone's personal life as much as this, unless you're like very big into all the drama that occurs with celebrities, which I'm not very much into it unless it's like very movie related.
Yeah.
But seeing this, like, I see Johnny as a very awkward man who looks like he, like, obviously they've shed a light on his younger years, And it doesn't look like he's done much to really better himself moving forward from there, 'cause it looks like he still carries a lot of the PTSD from, giving his mother nerve tablets, but obviously that's also spinning a yarn in his favor to, you know, for the
Yeah.
public opinion. But at the same time, like, the dude just doesn't seem stable, if I'm being honest.
No, he doesn't. But it also seemed like he was a bit too clean in some bits.
Yeah.
Like some bits, I didn't see anything. Like his bands was like, you you're gonna pay me for this. I didn't see anything constantly. But then like text messages from assistants, like, and then Johnny Depp can just claim, "Ah, I was never like uh mentally present." It's like it was so crazy, and people are eating this shit up.
Yeah.
Like that guy, that Justice for Johnny guy, the Darth News guy or whatever, the
Yeah.
Deadpool wearing like weird
Yeah.
fucker, which is all he was doing was advocating for men.
Mm.
It didn't matter what Johnny Depp did. Johnny Depp could have pushed fucking Amber Heard down some stairs and kicked her in the back and did all sorts of wild shit. That guy wouldn't have cared because he's seeing a man on trial and seeing it as men versus women. It's like this is bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then on the flip side, you had these crazy women going, "This is an attack on feminism." No, the fuck it wasn't. You shouldn't have seen this. No one should have seen this.
Yeah.
Like I cannot in like my rightful mind defend any of them. They're both dirtbags. The only honest bit that I seen in that whole trial was when they talk about the start of their relationship.
Yeah.
That's what I thought when they're talking about like this is the most beautiful person I've ever seen. Like we had such a connection and stuff. It was like that seems really really honest.
Yeah. I'm still very much in the camp of that. Celebrities get married to other celebrities simply for the opportunities that it opens.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it still seems very much so like that in Hollywood moving forward too, where it's like you need to be married to meet this sort of expectation of I'm gonna do family movies now or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And like to really sell this, you need to have your own family. So you need to marry Zoe Saldana and have two kids, and then this will help you moving forward. You're getting to an
Hmm.
age where you can't do action anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Because I don't know, some of these motherfuckers don't seem happy in these relationships, if I'm being honest. And that's
Yeah.
just my opinion of it as well. I could be fucking wrong, but you do see some very happy couples, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. They seem like they're
Hmm.
just two best friends
Yeah.
having a go at each other all the time. It's fucking great. But also publicly, they're not very present with each other. Like they're doing their own
Hmm.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess that's like part and parcel of that role, that Hollywood role. But it's like these people don't take time off. If you're in the spotlight, you're in the spotlight 24/7, and yeah, they just be moving really, really weird. I was want to hear my little conspiracy theory.
Yeah, of course.
I honestly think that um, this whole Depp v. Heard trial thing was a distraction from what was really happening during that time. I just don't have exact deets on what was really happening. So, yes.
Well, it
But
could
I,
be.
because we
Yeah,
were in lockdown during that time, that's what I'm saying.
true.
Most of the world was locked down. Australia, I'm pretty sure New Zealand, and the US. Europe was open for business. So, yeah.
It's definitely weird. Like there's something going on there. But for me, like I wouldn't put it past them to be honest, because around this time, shit, I want to say around this time, I was thinking about Alec Baldwin with the thingy as well. Because I feel like everyone really pushed everything aside for Depp versus Heard, and then it was just like, oh yeah, about this. There's updates on this as well.
Yeah.
That's a good point, though, dog. Could have been.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. It's just big dirtbag maneuvers. Just look here while this is doing something else.
Yeah, the sleight of hand.
Yeah. Because it took over everything, and even media had an agenda in terms of pushing certain things.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly
even the
right.
things that they aired after the trial, there was no interview with Johnny Depp afterwards. It was all focused on Amber Heard because she's guaranteed to fuck up in an interview.
And they really pushed her for the pledging and the donating.
Yeah, that's right. People were like really campaigning like they were going to get something out of this trial.
Mm.
You get nothing.
Good day, sir.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know. Sorry, I was about to go fucking manic there. Freaking. It raises a lot of questions for just how legitimate. Firstly, for me, how legitimate Hollywood relationships are. Secondly, um, what the court system's like if they're allowing this stuff to be streamed live for everyone.
Hmm.
Because I feel like with like a certain level of privacy, juries are going to hear about this outside of their day to day as well. Like, for example, here, our juries don't hear anything outside because a lot of this shit is very private.
Hmm. Yeah.
Unless it's like a massive case where it's like, big company related court battles. But it's very much behind closed doors, and we never get to hear about it until right at the end. And then we get our quick 5 seconds where where we can put our 2 cents in to everyone that we hear about it with. But this, it was months.
Oh, no way. And they fucking went ham.
Yeah. I think overall it was very like conversation. Um, sorry, the word in my head just fucking disappeared. But it sparks conversation, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and it,
Provocative.
yeah, thank you. Fucking, it's provocative, and as well as that, it's also rehashing a lot of the shit that we dealt with last year when it came to that. So you could also lean into that. Maybe Netflix was trying to make their $2 off this as well.
Yeah. I think the target was everyone out there that was kind of like feeling away.
Yeah,
Like people were so ready to judge. Like everyone was a jury member.
100%.
I think that was pretty clear in this documentary that people at that time were fucking wiling. People were going crazy. Here's my 2 cents. Here's what I would have done, and like this is what I would have said. And Johnny Depp's the strongest person ever. It's like I'm pretty sure Johnny Depp in his lair is a wild motherfucker.
Yeah,
And you people out there who are just like, nah, he's a saint. No, he's not. And in a relationship, even less so. Yeah.
it's it's next level. B and I were talking about it as well, just about Johnny and how it's a lot of the time that weird people have like the best values, but then you can get the bad eggs. Because I was like, look at Helena Bonham Carter and Tim Burton. They're very much like externally weird. Like,
Hmm.
no offense, they do them, they fly their flag, that's great. But they're the most sensible fucking people when you see them as well. It's just
Yeah.
that the content they create and the lives they want to live just seem very abstract compared to the regular fare.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. 100%.
when you see like shit like this, because I always thought Johnny Depp was just a weird dude,
Yeah.
but then like going through his trial, you're like, Johnny Depp's not a weird dude. He's just a bad dude who disguises it with weirdness.
Yeah. Hey. I think that's part of why they pushed so hard for it. It feels like they probably just paid everyone off. And I'm not on like Team Amber Heard or anything like that. I think they're both guilty, but we should not have heard about any of it.
Yeah, 1000%. If anything, this could have been a cool story that Johnny could have said 5 years down the track, or Amber could have said 5 years down the track in like a random podcast or interview that they have. They're like going through this harrowing experience. There were these stories that came up and these things that happened.
Yeah.
We've now settled amicably. We've separated, but now I can give you the fucking tea.
In my tell-all book, heard and not seen.
Fuck it, the depths of my sorrow. It's like a brand new album for that cunt.
Badly. He's just fucking shredding out his fucking emotions.
It's like Slash in November Rain.
There was no cable to that guitar.
Right? This motherfucker was out in the desert outside a chapel. Far out. But no, like overall, great. I thought this was really good. Like props to Netflix to keeping it neutral too. That was a big
Yeah.
thing for me.
Yeah. It would have been so easy for them to just fucking let the shit fly and just like lean hard on Depp.
100%. Good on him. But Netflix is very notorious for having awesome 3-episode docos now. I found that. Like, even with the Night Stalker or even some of the serial killer docos that come out, 3 episodes is all you need and you get everything.
Oh, that's bad. 3 episodes was the sweet spot.
Yeah.
I'd knock that out in like close to a night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fucking oath. Before Thursday, that's when we pumped it. Full finished at 9 and I was like, ooh.
Tear the city up, baby. Nice. All right. That is a wrap on all our reviews that we have this Sunday. We'll be back on Thursday with the first episodes of Ahsoka that drop on Wednesday. I don't know if there's anything else that comes out before then. No movies, nothing.
Nah, it's a pretty dry week.
Yeah, Ahsoka it is. You looking forward to Ahsoka?
A little bit. I've got a little bit of hope for it, eh?
Same. This is the thing. Going into it, I was just like I seen that last trailer that they had, and they played that fucking the Force theme, and it was just looking good. And even the fights, the way that they cut the fights, was looking like sort of prequelish. And I was just like, could be the one. Dave Filoni could get it across the line, but then I was just like, I've been fucked before.
Yeah. After like the news about Dave Filoni being in Kathleen Kennedy's camp, I get very wary about Dave Filoni material. So I'll see how it goes. But I'm down.
Yeah. Well, we'll be down to clown this Thursday. Check us out then. Hopefully we can get this shit live because YouTube's been fucking up. But yeah, follow us on all social media: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, YouTube. Give us a like and a subscribe. It gets us into a lot more spaces, gives us more opportunities that we can bring back to you. Yeah, see you Thursday. Love yourself, love movies.
Vape more, smoke less, and wash your ass. Turdberg.